Congress convened yesterday while House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was elected to her fourth term. She received 216 votes, narrowly beating House Republican.
Well, Ray is just... I mean, I know the guy since high school, so I can tell you the man's a yapper. Ramblin' Ray, that's what we know, man. I mean, I can talk myself, obviously, but if you talk to him for 5 minutes, you'd say, shoot, this guy's got the gift of the gab if I ever heard it, man. And of course, he used to be a car salesman. So what's that tell you, right? He can sell you an 82 Buick with 3 wheels and make it seem like it just came out of the damn factory. Yeah, that's pretty much how we met. We were in our junior year, and he sold me the first car he owned that he'd already moved on from. It was this Chevy Camaro that I think was passed on from his grandfather or something. Did a test drive of it. Everything seemed fine. Then 2 weeks later, I'm on my first date with this girl. We're on our way to catch a flick. I think it was Dirty Dancing. Her choice, not mine. Anyway, we're sitting at the light, and all of a sudden we hear this loud exhale, like the last breath of a woolly mammoth or some such thing. And the damn thing never started up again. I mean, it just flat out died. I saw him in English class the next day, and I was pissed, man. I mean, I was hot. I said, looks like you sold me a lemon, my friend. And he looked at me with the innocence of a child and said, well, shoot, it was lemonade when I had it. Son of a bitch wouldn't give me my money back. But he had me believing that buying me a cafeteria lunch and extra chocolate milks was just compensation. So he chalked it up to his first successful sale, and I chalked it up to lesson learned. So there you go. But then we got to know each other a bit more as time went on, and we hung out, met our future wives, had our families. We even both became volunteer firemen. So yeah, you could say we know each other pretty well. I never had a brother, and he ended up fitting the bill pretty good, I gotta say, yeah. So anyway, Ray's got a timeshare up there, up near Mossy Creek in the Shenandoah Valley. You ever been up there? Oh man, well, we fish in Carolina mainly, but he's had a share up there for, God, it must be like 6, 7 years now. And it's only for fishing. So his wife don't go. Jenny's got no more interest in it than my wife, so when he goes, I'll always ask if I can set some time aside, and usually I can. Like I said, I run my own hardware store, so usually I can afford to step away for a few days. Except this year it's been a bit more than few, right? I don't have to tell you. Yeah, we all been living in the same world. But it was like, hey, we can't do much with, how things are. So old Ray was like, come on, Cliff, we've been cooped up enough. Let's get out of town and catch some damn trout. So it sounded good to me. So that's what we did. So we packed up, got all our necessaries. We actually needed to get some more lines, so we picked up some fluorocarbons before we left town. We didn't know what places would be open up there, We got our stuff together, ate like shit, laughed a lot, and before I knew it, we were there at St. And Ray won't let you sleep, You try and nod off, before you know it, he's elbowing you and telling you a Polish joke. There's no rest for Ray, man. But yeah, we got there, got settled in, and didn't waste any time.
It's Monday, January 4th, and here are our top national stories. The newly elected Congress convened yesterday while House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was elected to a fourth term. She received 216 votes, narrowly beating House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy of California, who received 209 votes. Meanwhile, former House Speaker Paul Ryan on Sunday joined a growing number of conservatives who have criticized fellow Republicans for their plan to challenge President-elect Joe Biden's Electoral College victory. Ryan, a Republican from Wisconsin, called the effort to overturn the election result, quote, anti-democratic and anti-conservative.
Well, gotta say this wasn't the worst suggestion. Can't say I didn't need the getaway. I know you know what I'm talking about. Jesus, what a fucking year. All this shit. Jackie's sick of hearing me, bitch. I know what the hell she expects. I took a real ding this year, and she knows that affects everything. She don't seem to understand that, you know? No one's coming to my rescue. I tell her this, she thinks I just need to look ahead. See, that's where we're different now. You can wear those rose-colored glasses when you're a kid. When you're our age, hope and optimism just don't work the same when you can barely pay your mortgage. I mean, shit, you know we got Melissa in college. That don't cost nothing. I mean, it ain't Big Ten, but it costs something for Pete's sake. Little Cliffy's almost halfway done with high school. Said he don't need no college, wants to just work for me, and I'm fine with it. Jackie wants something else for her. I don't want to force him. And yeah, I want to leave my business to him. That's my damn legacy in the end, right? You know that. Man creates a business out of the dust. He don't want it to die with him. I mean, hell, that kid's loved coming there since he was I'm telling you, the first time we brought him in, his eyes were like saucers going down every aisle. It was like a wonderland to him. That's pride I take, you know? I don't have to force nothing down that boy's throat. He loves it. Yeah, with how things are going, I'll be lucky if I have shit to leave anyone. Look ahead. Hey, you know what? I am looking ahead. That's the problem.
The newly elected Congress convened yesterday while House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was elected to a fourth term. She received 216 votes, narrowly beating House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy.
How long? Oh, shoot, she'd kill me if she saw me having to think on it. 21 years in July. There you go. Hey, I always remember when it's time. Just sometimes it takes me a second to remember how long. You know, time. Hell, you're married. You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, well, you will soon enough. But yeah, 21 years, 2 kids, girl and boy. Girl's off of college up north, that's Melissa. Boy's still with us, halfway done with high school, that's Cliff Jr. Now we mainly call him Little Cliffy, even though he's pushing 5'10" now. No, he didn't go with us this time. Sometimes he goes, but usually we'll go closer to home. Anyway, this was more of a release trip, you know, older men, talk about older men problems, our wives, our kids, nothing particular, just random shit, stuff, sorry. Can I say shit? That's cool. Thanks, yeah, that's all it was. I mean, like I said, it's been a year. I've been feeling the sting for months, and businesses like mine don't got months. But yeah, just trying to relax and release, you know. Wish we could have caught more. Shoot, it was like even the fish were affected by all this. Like they had to wear masks on their gills and then just up and suffocated themselves. I mean, there was nothing. And we knew how to get them this time of year too. Slow streams, used midges on the line. I mean, it wasn't the best time of year to get them, but, well, it was more about getting away than anything. I mean, as I said, it's been a year. But it was good, you know, it did us good, me and Ray. We got stuff off our chests, you know, Lord knows I've had stuff to think on. Ray's had stuff, him and Jenny, his wife. Finances, obviously, that's been tough for him. Him getting laid off in particular, especially with 3 kids, is probably the biggest thing. He worked for Tyson. They laid off a bunch of folks. You know, they had that corporate restructuring thing early last year, and he thought they got lucky when they kept him on. He was management too. Well, assistant floor manager, but he was due to move up. Then this shit happened, and well, he wasn't so lucky. So between that and having all those months to just kind of fester, then he tried to go back into selling cars, but who the hell's been buying cars now, you know? So it was like one thing on top of another and another. Hell, it ain't like he's alone. I could cheer vouch for that. So there was all the more reason to just get away, hearing different kind of birds, feeling a different kind of breeze, a little cooler. So yeah, we had fun up there in Almosta Creek, all things considered. I just wish we could have caught more than we did. My Lord, I think I caught more of my son when he was 7 than me and Ray did. Jeez Louise.
Well, maybe that wasn't the thing to do then. You ever think about that? I mean, just because they think he's strange or different don't mean you got to feel that too. He didn't do nothing to you, right? He didn't say nothing to you. Well, he didn't even say or do nothing to your friends, so why they got it in for this kid? See? You don't even know yourself. Having fun? Yeah? Hold that steady now. Don't get cocky just because you caught a few. You got a grip, son. Don't get limp with it now. Get right. Remember what I told you? These fish are just waiting to catch you off guard. You ease up, before you know it, they're taking a nice bite of your line, and your rod's in the middle of the river. That's a good rod, too. That ain't no joke. See that on the side there? Look at that. That is a brand new, hot off the line Dip Rod Mini 2012. That ain't a name you call your sister, okay? That is a premium piece of equipment for a newbie. You don't want that sitting at the bottom of the water, right? Lord knows I don't want it there, considering what I paid for it. So hold on. Hold it like an Oreo cookie. You wouldn't want one of them hitting the floor, right? My Lord, it'd either be a fate worse than death. You know, I was 7 when your granddad first took me fishing. Right here. I don't know what it is about that age. Just seems like the right time to start. Back when I was your age, your granddad didn't give me nothing like you're holding. No, sir. You know what he gave me? A twig with some dental floss tied to it. That was it. He said, this is how you start. I was like, start? Jeez Louise, I had nowhere to go but up after using that thing. I don't even know if they had floss when he was a kid, so God knows what his daddy had him use, but in any case, I couldn't catch nothing. Big surprise. I watched him reel in just about every fish that swam in this river that day, and there I was with my little twig. May as well have been picking my teeth. And I already had the floss to do it. But you know, I gotta hand it to that cheap-ass son of a gun. I had so many dang calluses on my hand because of gripping that branch so tight that it made me ready for a real pull. And by the time I saved enough to get one, and yeah, I had to save to get it, that nice rubber handle was like getting a massage, and my grip was like a vice, I am telling you. Also, when I was about your age, there's one thing your granddad told me. I think it's a good time for you to hear it too, about how fish travel. He said, you know, they ain't stupid, but they also get their strength from each other. In other words, they can't survive alone. So they go with the flow. They go like the rest of their kind go, be it upstream, downstream. That's their best chance at the end of the day. But now here's the thing. He said humans don't have to do it, but they often do. They go with the flow. They go without a thought to their own mind. In other words, next time one of your friends tries to get you to do something that everyone else seems to be doing, think on it. Because you can. If it don't feel right, just remember, you ain't no fish. You could swim against the current. You get me? Oh, shoot, you got a tug. You feel that? That's it. All right, bring her in slow now, okay? Oh, look at that. Son of a gun. All right, hold it. Hold it, and I'll take it off the line. Just hold it still now, okay? Oh, look at that. Ain't that something? Woo! Look at that. Yeah.
With Christmas just about 2 weeks away, over 200,000 new COVID cases have been reported in the U.S., bringing the 7-day national average up to over 250,000 cases. Traveling for the holidays is expected to remain fairly undaunted, despite CDC warnings and particular concerns regarding large gatherings. Meanwhile, in the nation's capital today, Attorney General William Barr announced his resignation from President Trump's team. Barr had been a staunch loyalist to the president since his appointment. However, he has been in reported conflict with the president in recent weeks. While it was believed that the president had been planning to remove Barr for some time, the president tweeted today that the two had actually, quote, parted amicably. In other news, the Electoral College officially affirmed Joe Biden's win after gathering to submit their ballots. Despite this ruling, many Republicans are still claiming fraud, and the election battle appears to be far from over.
Well, this just about beats all that number. I mean, she can't come down for Christmas, Jackie? On top of everything else? Jesus, we're her family, for God's sake. She ain't seen us since the summer. Her grandma ain't getting any younger. She's gonna be 86 in a couple of months. It means something for her to have her only granddaughter come down to spend Christmas. And I don't care what reason she's given, Jackie. This shit shouldn't be what keeps her awake. The planes are still flying. Pilots are still steering. It ain't like she has to fly the thing herself. All she's got to do is show up at the damn airport. Wear the flipping mask and be done with it. Well, they're making this whole thing out here. I mean, shoot, look at us. We're fine. Everyone we know's been fine. No one's been getting sick. They're all getting us broke. That's what the hell we're getting. Making this whole country panic for nothing. All it's done is kill businesses, stores at a standstill. I can't sell so much as a socket wrench right now. Yet we can get her gifts, get her a ticket. I mean, shit, Jackie, we're losing money left and right. We're late on our mortgage, and yet we're still paying that school so she can sit in the dorm and Zoom all her damn classes. What a deal we got, right? Now she's saying she can't so much as take a 3-hour flight from Massachusetts to see her family. Well, I'll be. I'll tell you what all this is. I don't think it's so much this pandemic. I think it's all her little stances. No, Jackie, it is. You may not want to believe it, but I think it's exactly that. You've seen this shit she posts on her social, Insta, whatever accounts. And I talked to her about it. You talked to her about it. She's all freedom and justice, this, that. Hey, you know what? I was born in this country too. It ain't like I'm against it. But I also don't shove my opinions down everyone else's throat. It's like, this all started right before she left for college. Since she's gone, it's gotten a whole lot worse. A whole lot. And don't tell me you ain't seen it, Jackie. This pandemic, or whatever the hell it really is just an excuse for her. She don't want to come down to see her family because she won't be able to sit for a course of mashed potatoes and turkey without mouthing off about this and that. I don't want to hear it. Clippy don't want to hear it. None of us want to hear it. And she knows it. All right, fine. Think your damn thoughts. I ain't going to try and unwash your brain. Yeah, you know what? She does live in America. And I'm her father, not a dictator. She wants to think that shit, let her. This is still her home. She'll probably come out of it sooner or later anyway, so I don't care as much about that, Jackie. Really, I don't. Think your damn thoughts, however misguided they are, but come and be with your family on fucking Christmas. I mean, Jesus, they.
The newly elected Congress convened yesterday while House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was elected to a fourth term. She received 216 votes, narrowly beating House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy of California, who received 200.
Yeah, I told my wife where we were going. Why wouldn't I? We don't have any secrets. I mean, like I said, she don't care much for fishing. I mean, she'll cook them after I clean them, but she's got no interest in sitting on a boat. It bores her. She's got a bad back, all this. I mean, look, we're married, but we ain't Siamese twins. We got our interests, you know, she's got hers, her book club and gardening and whatnot. I got mine. I mean, she knew what this was. Like I said, we were getting away after almost 10 months of being cooped up. I know we weren't the first either. We all need a release. I did, Ray did, so that's why we went. Just a couple of old buds getting away. Hell, you can ask her and she'll tell you the same thing. Hey, look, I appreciate that you guys are doing what you need to be doing. That's your jobs, I get it. And I respect it, but I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, you asked why we went, where we went, and I told you. I mean, with all due respect, you ain't even gonna don't go and buy anything you've seen, right? Right, you're going by some alleged neighbor of Ray's who said he said something and Ray says it's bullshit, and I wasn't even there when this alleged exchange took place. So as far as I'm concerned, it is bullshit. But you know, I was with Ray on the strip. So you know that I can tell you straight. We went up on the 4th, came back on the 6th, just a couple of days. Jackie will tell you what I brought back. I mean, like I said, it wasn't much, but it was something. I gave you the receipts for the fluorocarbons and the other stuff I bought on the way and back. I mean, I went fishing. That's what I did. That's what we did. I mean, yeah, I got reasons to be pissed like a lot of folks, but not to where we'd go and... No, you kidding? Hell no. Yeah, I want to leave my business to him. That's my damn legacy in the end, Ray. You know that. Man creates a business out of the dust. He don't want it to die with him. I mean, hell, that kid's loved coming there since he was yay high. I'm telling you, the first time we brought him in, his eyes were like saucers going down every eye. It was like a wonderland to him. That's pride I take, you know? I don't have to force nothing down that boy's throat. He loves it. Yeah, with how things are going, I'll be lucky if I have shit to leave anyone. Look ahead. Yeah, you know what? I am looking ahead. That's the problem. You're right, Ray. I wasn't sure it was worth going to D.C., but I think it is now. The more I think of these things, my business, all that, I see it all going away if we don't speak up. This Biden gets in, the whole shit show starts. I see it. I see it all. They actually want to boot out a guy who at least cares for working folks like you and me, who cares we got families. Shit, my old man let me dig on a stick. Actually got something to leave. I got a business I built from nothing, man, and it's all going to come to squat if we let this fraud happen. You're right. What better time to assert our rights? I just don't want Jackie to know. I know you get it, because you don't want Jenny to know either, but I'm just saying it to say it, Ray. I know it's just a protest and all, but it won't be good. I'm doing this for my family, but my family can't know, at least not now. So like you said, we'll just keep our receipts and do whatever else to cover our ass, and in the meantime, we're going to go and let our voices be heard, right? Hell yeah.
Thousands of people here, and I just want them to be recognized by the fake news media. Turn your cameras, please, and show what's really happening out here, because these people are not going to take it any longer. They're not going to take it any longer. Again, I want to thank you. It's just a great honor to have this kind of crowd and to be before you, and hundreds of thousands of American patriots who are committed to the honesty of our elections and the integrity of our glorious republic. All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
Unbelievable, man. You better hide this shit, man. I'm serious. This is government letterhead. No, you kidding? I didn't take nothing. Hell, I broke a couple of lamps in that office. What, that wasn't enough for you? Damn, man. How much milk we gotta pour in our eyes to get that damn pepper spray out? Shit. Fucking burns, man. We're lucky you can drive. Guess we had to expect something at some point. I couldn't keep up with all that was going on. Folks with flagpoles and stealing toilet paper and shit. It was all... I'm serious, man. You better get rid of this letter. What do you mean, why? Come on, Ray, just get rid of it. You don't need a dang token, man. Jenny sees it. What you gonna tell her? It's floating down the stream while we're fishing like a damn sea bass? You promise? All right, good. Just burn it before you get home. Didn't see it coming, I gotta tell you. What? Just everything, the whole... But I mean, I think we put some thoughts in people's heads, don't you? Me too. I mean, I gotta admit, I just thought we'd be raising our voices and rattling some cages, but shit. We all just started moving. It was like a gush, you know, like rafting or some shit, just the pull of it. I mean, Ray, you know I never in my life felt compelled to protest nothing. I always thought it was a bunch of folks with too much time in their hands. But this, I mean, for the first time, I felt like I was doing something for my country, not just for me and my family, you know? You too, right? You know, my dad fought in Nam, his dad fought in Korea. I guess I always thought there was something missing about me in that regard, that I didn't serve. Maybe that's why I became a volunteer fireman, but God knows putting out a grease fire once every 6 months ain't the same. But this, I mean, it wasn't a war, but it was a storm, man. We were fucking storming. We were Americans who were disenfranchised, for God's sakes, right? I mean, we didn't ask for what we've been getting, to be deceived, and we pay taxes, we vote, and it just ain't enough no more, right? It just ain't enough, so this is what we had to do, right? No, I ain't doubting nothing. I'm just asking. I mean, hell, you didn't think they'd be breaking windows and shit, did you? Right, I sure as hell didn't. But then it happened. And before I knew it, we're in the lobby and folks are... I mean, at first it was all... But then it started seeming justified. It was justified. We made some serious history, man. Oh.
House Democrats are inching towards steps to remove President Trump from power after he incited his supporters to attack the U.S. Capitol last Wednesday. On Monday, the House adjourned for the day after Republicans objected to a voice vote on a measure calling on Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment. The House is set to vote on that measure today. Meanwhile, at least 47 lawmakers are co-sponsoring a resolution by freshman Missouri Democrat Cori Bush, calling for the removal of Republicans who encouraged last week's insurrection at the Capitol. In other news, a Chinese study has found about 3/4 of people hospitalized with COVID-19 face the symptoms as long as 6 months later. The majority of patients suffered from at least one symptom 6 months after being discharged from the hospital.
I said I'll be up again. I'm just watching this.
We still face long-term side effects of the
I don't know, Jack. Just the news or something. Just let me be by myself for a bit, okay? I'm fine. Jackie, I'm fine. I'm tired, and I just want to be under myself. So what? So what's your point? A man can't sit in front of the TV with a beer no more? Is that what you... I mean, geez, what the hell's going on? With this? With every damn thing. The house, the country. Now I gotta plead my case just to sit and think to myself? Do I get up in your grill when you do whatever the hell you do? Jack, just let me be, all right? I'm a grown goddamn man. You don't like what you're seeing? Then guess what? There's other rooms in this house. All I want to do right now is sit here without you eyeballing me like I'm going to steal your pocketbook, okay? You want to know what's going on? Jack, you been around this year? You see how I can't make an income? You see how even if they let me open up the store, no one's coming in? Haven't I brought that up about 1,000 times? Then we can't even have a proper dang holiday. She couldn't be bothered to come down to see her folks, but she could sure post photos of our president on the toilet or wearing a diaper or some shit with all her little friends in the choir she's preaching to, egging her on. You go, girl. That's she's got time for. But you see, she can't get it into her head that the youth she is blessed to have in the moment will be short-lived. She'll be her grandma's age in a snap of a finger, just praying she's got another year left to spend with her family. But she don't see any of that now, does she? Because she can't see past her own selfish ignorance. Just preaching to the choir of disrespectful shits who ain't lived a day. I tell you something, Jackie. College ain't life. Whatever she's doing up there, it's all play acting. It's all biding time. And I ain't talking about that asshole who stole the election. That's all it is in the end, Jack. Just biding time while reality sits in a tree like a vulture just waiting for you to tumble. They all don't know jack shit. And yet parents like us are paying for what they use against us. And now you want to see Cliffy go the same way. The boy wants to be his own man. He wants to work for me. He wants to run the store someday. That's what he wants. He's fine without some professors and students cramming shit in his head so he forgets everything he is. And if he does decide to go, he can go, so long as we can afford it. But he don't right now. He wants to work for his own man. And God damn, that's something that after all this shit, I can at least take some dang pride in. You got to make it seem like that's failing. That success is anything but what his father is. Yeah, I know you never said that to me anyway, but I get where you... Sure, go to bed. You ask the dang question, Jackie. You don't like the answer, then don't ask the dang question, okay? Yeah, that's what it all comes down to in the end now, don't it? Don't be like your folks. Least of all me. Yeah, what a shameful role model I am, huh? Someone who created a business out of nothing. A burned out lot that no one wanted nothing to do with. An eyesore for decades. Just a place for addicts and shit to hang out. That's all it was. And I scraped all my nickels and dimes together from all the shit jobs I've been working. No family loans, no friend loans. I started with a twig and dental floss. That was it.
Nothing. Father never gave me shit. Never owned shit. Hell, by the time it was my age, he barely owned our house and almost foreclosed on the thing about a half dozen times because he was too busy loading up his liver. But I made something. Out of the weeds came a garden. You know what that's called, Jackie? You know what that's called? The American dream. When you can make something out of nothing and make a living with it and raise a family with it and buy a house with it. The American goddamn dream. Now we're being told to just deal with it. By folks who never earned shit in their lives. Never had to be responsible for anything but wiping their own ass. Just deal with it, they say. Government will give you a nice little pittance, nice little symbolic piece of bullshit that'll barely be enough to pay the electric bill for a month. And we got our only daughter up there. As far as she's concerned, working class folks like us are to blame. And all her little friends are stoking her. Oh yeah. They're stoking her bullshit. God knows what she tells them about it. Backwoods hick parents. No mention of our support. No mention of our paying for her to go to that liberal arts college that she begged us to let her go to. No mention of our attending every game, every performance in high school, even those debate tournaments. Hell, she had us sitting in the audience while she was making an argument for abortion. And she knew how we felt about it, and yet what did I tell her afterwards? What did I say? I said, you spoke real well, honey. Real nice. Hell, you almost convinced me. No memory of that. But now she practically put a white sheet on my head. I never said a cross word in my life to anyone about blacks or any of them. But now, because I don't agree with everything one of them might say, I'm considered some sort of a relic. A dinosaur. Now I'm supposed to wrap my head around her friend Bob, who's now Barbara. All right, fine, you like him, and they respect you. I don't got a problem with it, but shit, give me a second to catch up with all this. I mean, if she went from Melissa to Michael, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked as all hell, but I'd still love her. It's like we're moving so fast with some things, and folks like us can lose everything in less than a year, and no one gives a shit. Just deal with it, they say. Just like this election. We're supposed to keep quiet about our rights being taken away? At the end of the day, there's something to be said for folks speaking up. Even if it takes putting a scare in those fuckers sitting in their little dome making $300,000 a fucking year, trying to ignore the votes of tax-paying citizens. Folks with families who never made much, but they made themselves, you know? This was a damn theft. We all witnessed it too, just some don't want to believe it because it ain't in their interest. Or if they do believe it, they don't got the guts to let their voices be heard in what's supposed to be a free damn country. And goddamn, you're alive in this country, you believe all this shit our founding fathers said was possible, you got every right to fight for it. I ain't alone. Ray gets this. He's just like us. Family, had a job that was ripped from him. They spent all that money to get that dang pool installed in their backyard a couple of years ago. Now they're counting change for groceries. Just like us. We ain't alone. I know this for a fact. There's thousands, millions, not just in a little hick town either, from all over. I heard their voices. All different accents. Men, women, young, old.
From all over this land that came. This wasn't just a group that met in the community center for bingo. This was a motherfucking movement. The tide. And boy, if we didn't turn it.
It is now official. President Barack Obama has won his re-election campaign against Republican candidate Mitt Romney in what had grown into a highly contentious race. The candidate spent months campaigning and squared off in 3 debates. Polls throughout the election season showed the candidates neck and neck with voters, but Obama and Vice President Joe Biden in the end prevailed with 332 electoral votes compared to 206 that went to Romney and running mate Paul Ryan.
Hey, Dad. It's been a while, huh? Well, I guess you know I have some justification for not exactly being a frequent visitor. We didn't exactly end on the best note, did we? Well, shit happens, I guess. Sometimes a lot of shit. I try and think back before I knew all that. When I only knew you as the guy who took me fishing with a twig when I was little. That's what I tell my son now. You only knew him as a baby, but he actually just turned 7. Fishing age, you'd call it. Took him for the first time a few weeks ago. My Lord, I watched him reel in about 12 in the span of 2 hours, and he probably could have cleaned out the river if I didn't have to bring him back home for supper. He's a good boy. Melissa's 10, remember her? Pretty one? Smart as a whip. Geez Louise, never fails to knock me and Jackie off our butts. Good speller, she can write, she can draw. She must have got that from Jackie. You should see her when Jeopardy's on. Oh, man. I've been truly blessed to have the family that I have, and I only wish you knew you were, but, Mom goes, they should put her in here even though she ain't a vet. She took enough battle scars from you to earn it, God knows. Yet she comes to see you every Sunday still. That's a hell of a woman you married. Got a black president now, ain't that something? Just re-elected too. Ain't doing too bad from what I can gather, but who the hell knows? I voted for him this time, in any case. I'm sure you'd have something to say about that. You wouldn't be the first, some of our friends will. Anyway, I didn't come here to small talk or rehash old shit. I just thought it was a good time to tell you that I bought my own business. Hardware. Took that empty lot over on Magenta Street. Place has been a hemorrhoid on the ass of this town long enough, I thought. So last month I dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's, and I own it. That's mine. Got a couple of guys working for me. Paper did a write-up on us. Got a photo with the mayor. You should have seen Cliffy first time we brought him in. He was like, Dad, is this really all yours? I was like, yep, sure is, son. Someday it could be yours too. That's what I'd like anyways, but we'll see. You know, I'm the only one of my friends that's got his own business. They all work for someone else and they all hate every goddamn minute of it. You always told me not to go along, even if you couldn't follow that philosophy yourself, but I don't judge you for it. Words still meant something. You ain't no fish, you'd say. For all I know, you may have just said it to me because your daddy said it to you, but in any case, I'm glad you did. I might have not had the drive to do what I'd done if you didn't. Well, that's all I got. Hope it does something for you. Wherever you are. Rest in peace, old man.
6 months since the attack on the Capitol, more than 535 defendants have been arrested, and the FBI have said they have yet to identify more than 300 individuals believed to have committed violent acts on the Capitol grounds. Nearly 235 defendants were charged with corruptly obstructing, influencing, or impeding an official proceeding or attempting to do so, and approximately 40 defendants have been charged with conspiracy, a charge that alleges defendants coordinated with others to commit an offense. The alleged rioters came from at least 45 states outside of Washington, D.C. Thus far, it has been estimated that 48 were from Florida, 45 from Texas, 41 from Pennsylvania, and 36 from New York.
Hi, son. I'm okay. Sleep ain't the best in here, and food ain't exactly Lucille's BBQ, but it is what it is. Hey, don't worry about me. Your mom okay? Yeah, I know she's pissed at me. Don't act like you don't know why. She's pissed because I lied to her, son. That's something your mom and me don't do to each other. We've always been straight in all our years, even when it's led, son, Cliff, now you listen to me right now. I ain't no goddamn hero, and your mom and your sister ain't wrong, and that's the long and the short of it. You hear me? Now, we don't got a lot of time here, so I just need you to hear me out on some things, okay? Just listen. Now, you know, I never told you I was going to go where we ended up, and that's because, well, I wasn't sure myself. I mean, we went fishing, but there was always an ulterior agenda, I guess. I just wasn't sure I'd want to go. And God knows I didn't know if I did what it had become. I just thought there'd be folks there like myself who felt, well, kind of screwed, who were angry at how things had gotten. I mean, I know you heard me mouth off about this stuff, and you went along because I'm your dad, but son, what happened, what ended up happening is, son, it's one thing to stand up for what you believe in, but it's another to become part of some wave driven by rage, and at the end of the day, the wave forgets what's even raging against. You understand what I'm trying? Son, when we broke in, a lot of folks were grouping together and heading down one way or another. It was out of control. It was just nuts. I ended up inside some congressman's office, I think. Folks were ransacking shit, taking stuff. Ray was rummaging through a desk with some others, and I was just sort of watching all this. Like I couldn't think of what else to do since it seemed everyone was already doing it. I mean, I broke a couple of lamps, and then I just sort of stood there.
At some point, I ended up near the doorway. I could hear yelling and glass crashing echoing down the halls before someone yelled that a guard was heading our way, and it was like something took over. Like all the shit that was happening around me kind of got inside me. And before I knew it, as this guard came through the door, I just up and punched him square in the face. Just cold cock. Hadn't raised my fist since my junior high school playground, and there this poor man was, strewn out on the floor, out cold. Someone who got up like you and me, went to work, never thinking he'd be walking into a damn hurricane. Well, before I could think of what else to do, a couple of others jumped in and started kicking at his sides, and I just left, not even knowing if the man survived. And thank God he did. And the only reason I know that is because I admitted to it, without them even suspecting me of it. See, that's the thing, son. It was like no one knew. Even Ray didn't know, and I didn't tell him because I just didn't. But it was like you could do anything you wanted that day, and no one was the wiser. It was like God's eyes were shut. And still, even on the drive home, I was thinking like this was all fate, like we were all part of some greater good. I really got myself to believe that, because if I didn't, America's a funny country, son. Folks like us, like me anyways, don't always pay much mind to government so long as we're able to work. But once things change, once it looks like things are being taken away, a lot of folks act the wrong ways. These are things they don't always teach you in high school. Hell, they sure as hell didn't teach me. Like way back when folks around here thought stuff was being taken away when blacks were finally being treated like human beings. And then just a few months ago, just minutes after I hit that poor man, I'm running up the stairs inside the Capitol behind a swarm of people, not knowing what they were doing or where they were going, before seeing that they were following someone. It was a guard. It was a black guard. And as I was running to keep pace with them, I got to look at their faces. And it dawned on me. Are we following him? Or are we chasing him? And what's going to happen when he can't run no more? And then I just stopped and let everyone pass me. I turned around and headed back down the steps. I just tried to block it all out. Later on the news, I saw the footage of the man being chased before other guards came to help him. But son, had they not, I wouldn't have put it past some of those folks to rip that man to shreds. Some things will never change, I guess. They'll always be the blind and the stupid, and sometimes they may only be it for a moment, but a moment's all it takes. I was getting to believe everything was becoming a damn myth. Even this virus, and now your grandmom's got it. And goddamn what that woman's been through in her life. Now I know that had Ray not opened his mouth to that neighbor and held onto that letter, I probably wouldn't be here. At least not now. There was no visible footage of me. The officer I hit didn't remember nothing. I was just a faceless part of a wave that could have just faded into history, at least for a time. But however long that time was, wouldn't have been well lived, son. Not being caught wouldn't have been a victory, because even though you and your mom and your sister may not have known, I would have. And it would have eaten me up. It already was. And you would have never known that someone you loved could make such a huge, that despite everything he's ever told you, he'd become just another dang fish. Just one with the current. Now, I expressly told your mom to not post bail for me because the only money we'd have to do it would be your college money, and that ain't happening here. You decide what you decide, son, but we didn't go through the trouble of saving that up to bail me out of this shit. So no arguments, okay? It'll be all right. Whatever I get, whatever's coming to me, it'll be fine. And don't be mad at your sister because she ain't talking to me. She's got good reason. But I don't want to see this come between you two, you hear? For now, I just want to tell you that I love you. And I'm sorry. And don't be so quick to forgive me. I think you better go now, son. Check in on your grandma and do whatever your mom needs you to do. Don't argue with her, just do it. And we'll talk soon.